Hello, good people. Welcome to the Save Happy Life channel with me, Dr. Rose M. This is the channel where, as parents, we encourage one another in this journey of parenthood, and especially for those parents who have teenage children. Today, I would like us to discuss a topic that has been discussed several times. It's nothing new, but I will look at it from a different angle. And this is peer pressure. Peer pressure. I want us to understand peer pressure in relation to our children, particularly the teenage children. These are the children who are involved in behavior that sometimes makes us feel as parents as though we are not doing enough for our children until sometimes we ask ourselves, where did I go wrong as a parent? We are here to encourage one another because we agreed right from the start we are not giving up on our children. They do not have other parents and we do not have other children. A social learning theorist called Albert Bandura mentioned during his time that new learning processes as well as new behaviors are acquired by observing, looking, as well as imitating others. That is why the teachers tell us to repeat what they have said, especially in the formative years when they are teaching us language. And these others who we look at or we observe, or our children look at or observe so as to imitate, may be ourselves as parents, maybe the teachers, maybe their friends, maybe their relatives, maybe the celebrities that we have in the country, may even be the leaders that we have in the country. And this has something to do with the brain and its development. This stems or this starts from the brain where some mechanisms are triggered when interacting with others, when interacting with peers. And these mechanisms include three of them that I'm going to mention. And one of them is called social reinforcement. This is where your child, my child, seeks acceptance, approval, and praise, seeks belonging from those who matter to them. And those who matter to them are their friends in school, are their friends in the neighborhood. The other mechanism that is triggered in the brain is called modeling behavior, where children observe the behavior and they commit it to memory and they recall, they remember the behavior, and then they reproduce that behavior or replicate that behavior. And once it is replicated in the presence of peers, they cheer him or they cheer her on. They praise the child. And this behavior now is reinforced. I will give a typical example where a child is in the midst of his or her friends and they observe, or the child observes, the friends smoking or drinking. Then they commit that to memory and they tell themselves, I will also do it so that I feel part of this friendship. So they commit it to memory, they recall that behavior, how it was done, how the person behaved once they had like taken that puff, like they taken that drink. Then they replicate, they reproduce that behavior next time, which happens to be next time they are meeting in that gathering, they tell one another, oh, I want to try also. Let me try also, because they want to belong. Then once they try, the friend who is introducing this child into either the drinking or smoking or sex or any other form of behavior, they cheer him on. They tell him, well done. Even if you cough, it's going to be fine. Ah, you're feeling nice now. Then that reinforces that behavior. That makes the child want to do it again and again and again. The other mechanism that is triggered in the brain is a little bit more complex, and this is the cognitive processing, which is the relationship between the brain, the development of the brain or the developing of a brain and its potential to be influenced by peer pressure. And science has it that a younger brain has less potential to resist peer pressure than an older brain. Therefore, parent, as we talk to our children, let us call to mind that their brain is much younger and it is still developing, and thus more likely to be swayed into risky behavior. So even as we blame them for being bad-mannered, ill-behaved, let us always remember that their brain is not as developed as ours, and it is young and thus prone to be swayed into risky behavior. And this is particularly during adolescence. A neuroscientist by the name Sandra Modit says or tells us that brain matures at the age of 25 years. So we are dealing with immature brains, and that is why they are all over the place doing all manner of things, burning schools, smoking bangi, drinking alcohol, in getting involved in sex orgies and all manner of bad behavior that us parents are not proud of. Thus, as older people, we have the responsibility over our children since they are adolescents, since they are just adults, even if they are adults at 18 years, according to the government law, they are still children because the brain is still developing. And we have the responsibility of guiding and assisting them to handle various forms of peer pressure or various scenarios where they can encounter peer pressure. And that means that much as we want to blame them so much, we also should sit back and ask ourselves, what role have I played in helping my son, my daughter, be more able to handle peer pressure from the friends that they are associating with. When you learn something new, it is always good to share with your friend. Subscribe, share. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we shall continue looking at peer pressure, different types of peer pressure. Stay tuned. Let us meet tomorrow. Bye bye.